So, welcome back. As you can see, some time has passed. My hair has grown a little bit. Exams are over, so back in the basement. What are we going to do today, or start today? It's going to be a new series of a new project that has been waiting since 2018 in the basement, but I will tell you the story now. So, maybe you can see, maybe you don't, because I don't know if this focus is working, because I'm using an actual professional camera now, and maybe in this video there will be some weird things like unfocused footage or stuff. I will try my best. It's my first time, so don't be mad. And yeah, actually, let's start at the beginning. There's an engine. Where's the bike? The bike is in front of you. You just can't see because it's not in the frame, but I will show you in a moment. And yeah, so what is this all about? Let's start at the beginning, the second time. Last year I drove the Royal Enfield, the diesel bike, which you can see on the channel as well, on like a kind of a rally for veteran bikes, like old bikes, really old bikes, like pre-war bikes. I think the oldest one was 1904, so really old bikes. And I only could ride in it because the Enfield is from 1986, so it's quite new to their standard, but they have like a junior class for younger people who don't have like that much money and can't afford these really expensive pre-war bikes, bikes from the 40s and 50s, stuff like this. And yeah, this year I wanted to like enlist again for the rally, and then I saw actually they deleted the whole class for the kind of age of bikes I rode. So I didn't have a bike, but maybe you can already connect the dots. I got a different older bike down here and I will show you the bike in a moment. I will quickly tell you the story of the bike. This one is a Kreidler, as you can see on the logo, which is probably not focused because I don't really get the autofocus on the camera yet. This is a Kreidler bike, and as you can see, it's a smaller engine, so it's a 50cc bike, it's a moped, but I will probably call it a bike all the time because I feel like it. And yeah, this one is from 1960. It's allowed to drive 65 kilometers an hour and belonged to my past grandfather. Yeah, to the story. Back in the, I think, mid-90s, my dad and my uncle got this bike out of a shed somewhere in the countryside they lived at, like back then, and restored the bike, like got it restored. I don't know to what degree. I know they like painted it, they upholstered the seat, they put on some fresh rims, and the engine was pretty much untouched. And in the condition that it was in 2018, before I started working on it, it was like standing around at the corner like for 20 years. And I got it running, but like the engine sounded like a bag of nuts, so I wasn't really happy. So I started to dismantle the bike to get the engine out, to rebuild the engine, and maybe also do some work on the frame and stuff. Chassis, not frame. And yeah, then a lot of nothing happened because I was 15 at the time, so I got like different mopeds and needed them to drive to school, so I had more work on them than with this lower priority bike. So as things are, time has passed, I forgot about it, and now I need an older bike for the rally, so it's the time to shine for the thing, and or make it shine. And yeah, the engine, as you can see, looks pretty decent. That's because it's been rebuilt. I dismantled it with a good friend of mine who's also like a Kreidler, not maniac, fanatic, fan, and also his dad, so they know a lot about these bikes. And he dismantled it with me, and we made a list about what has to be changed and what parts they have to get, what numbers their parts have, and stuff like this. I got the parts over the years, and he rebuilt it eventually, like I think 2 or 3 years ago, because he was kind of fed up because it took up space in his basement. So he finished the engine very kindly, I thank you. And also he polished the side cover and put black paint in the logo, so it looks good. I will show you in a moment, it's probably not in focus. Yeah. So, back to the story. Small detour, sorry. Yes, and at the point at which my dad and my uncle finished the bike, they just gifted it to my grandfather. I think it was his 50th birthday, 60th, I don't know, somewhere around this. Yeah, 60. He's probably got 60 at the time. So yeah, and somehow it ended up here in a different house 200 kilometers away. I don't know, it's been standing here for 20 years. Somehow they lost the papers, so I already got new paperwork done for the whole thing. Got this sorted, and yeah, the engine is also sorted. Mainly there's 2 or 3 pieces missing, I will show you. And now, after very much talking, I will show you the thing. Please don't expect like a new bike, because it isn't. And yeah, I will quickly show you what has to be done, and I'm also going to write a list today with you what parts I have to get. So that's actually the bike, and as you can see, it's pretty dismantled. So there's some parts, there's the whole bike, and as you can see, it's not in the best shape. Like, this thing is missing, the mirror is missing, and handles are loose, the lamp is loose actually, and all stuff like this. Like, as you can see, it's not in the best shape. Also, I don't think you can see. Oh yeah, you can actually see very good. The tank is pretty rusty and stuff like this. It's not in the best shape, but it's an old bike. And there's also a few parts here, as you can see. That's the chain guard that belongs on this side around here. And that's like the engine shroud, because the whole engine is air cooled. So let's quickly take that all away. That's the shroud of the left side. So it's going to be mounted like this, and as you can see, or not, you can't. There is like an air vent thingy, because the engine is also air cooled. Is air cooled, not also. Over the engine is sitting like, over the cylinder head, cylinder is sitting like this cover to guide the air in. As you can see, it's already been repaired, I think by me actually, some years ago. Yeah, but that's not going to be that awful. There's like an intake manifold, but I already have one. It's a lot of parts, like a double, so I will explain to you why they are double shortly. So that's the right hand cover, and as you can see, it's been sitting here for a while. Yeah, autofocus is not focusing. But yeah, it's been sitting here for a while. And there's also some exhaust headers. As you can see, this one, the right one, is the original one. This is the one I've got for the bike, because there are some quirks. But let's start with the chassis. What has to be done to make this thing running again, or like be roadworthy? Because there's not like a proper inspection for it, so, but I'm still like want to ride safe. So what am I going to do? I will at first get new shocks, because these shocks are blown out. Don't know if you can see on this side, but this side is definitely rusted through at some point, I think. Not sure, maybe it was this side as yeah. Yeah, there you can see the whole spring. That's not good. So they're also pretty worn. You can't really see. I still need to figure out the whole lighting thing on the camera. But around here, there maybe. Can I adjust it? No, I can't. Yeah, maybe here. Yeah. It's pretty worn. Also, tires, they are not bad, but they are quite old. They are still a little soft, but if we get the weather like last year, it's going to be only like raining all the time. I drove in the rain, it was okay, but also I can't really see what kind of company made these tires, so I'm not too sure if they are really good. So new tires, new tubes, stuff like this. Also, I will disassemble the hub, like the drum brake, to see how the, what do you call them in English? Pads, like the pads, how they look. Because I think there might be also asbestos, so because they're quite old, so I'm not sure. Maybe I also just will accept it. But what I really need to do is get a new brake like cable, because this is already maxed out, as you can see. Maybe, yeah, the screw's already been maxed out. That's full down, and the lever is not moving very much, so it's also not really good at braking. Also, the spring back here is not really original. Looks more like a makeshift spring, like the spring here, like around the whole lever. And yeah, as we are now at the back, we are also going to get new sprockets front and rear, both shocks, as I said. And that's about it for like this half of the bike up until here. Yeah, what else? Basically the same for the front. New tires, new brakes, because the brake is awful on the front. I really remember that from one test ride. Like the whole suspension system on the front is still okay. It's also like a really mess to rebuild, so I'm going to not do it. Then I have to address the whole cables and stuff. Also every cable, braking cable, shifting cable, because it's hand shifted, as you can see. Needs to be like new, because they're pretty worn and old. Also I have to like rebuild the grips to some degree, because they have like a lot of, yeah, you can see like this little ball. They have got like a lot of small things to maintain and grease up and stuff like this. The grips are actually fine still, so they're going to stay. And yeah, also like the whole electric work is not really working, because you only have like this switch, which is not really, I think that's for off, like turning the bike off, because it doesn't have a lock. And this one is just for maybe light off, stand light and usual light, or like driving and like I don't know how you call it, like the high beam, low beam thing. Maybe it's that, I don't know. But it's actually the original switch, so I'm definitely going to keep it. Also the tachometer is working somehow, so yeah, this is not like the original mileage, so never mind. Derust the tank, get a new fuel tab. Beside the fact I got a new one in 2018, maybe I can save it, but it's also not very pleasing to look at. And I realized the lighting is not too good. Let me quickly help it. Yeah, so as you can see, it's really a newer plasticky one. So yeah, what about the engine? That's everything of the frame. So let's continue. I already disassembled the engine to some degree because I wanted to show you some things. Yeah, that's a 50cc air-cooled engine basically, and one thing that's already missing is under the clutch cover. So if I quickly dismantle the clutch, which I previously did for you, yeah, as you can see, that's the pressure plate. That's like the pressure thingy going down here, and yeah, but as you can see, there's only the metal rubbing discs in here, and as you can already see as well, they are quite blue. So what does it tell us? Blue means something got really hot, and these are hardened steel plates, so if they are getting hot, the whole engine got pretty hot. So we already threw out the old clutch discs, so that's everything that remains. So I will get new pressure, new rubbing discs and new steel plates discs. Yeah. Next thing, as far as I'm aware, that's the only thing I got from the push side of the clutch, because there is the clutch thingy dingy, and there's like the thing that goes in here, and presses against the clutch spring down here and decompresses the whole clutch, so there's not really much of energy transmitting to the gearbox, so you stand still. And yeah, that's actually missing, and or at least like the last things, like this one is here as far as I'm aware, the rest is not in here. Let me quickly, it's been some time since I dismantled this thing. No, they are missing, so going to need these. And there's also like like an upgrade kit for the clutch pressure plate, because if you have this spring and this thing rubbing inside and you pull the clutch for a long amount of time, you will definitely not get focus on the camera. You will definitely rub steel against steel for a long time. So there are like flat needle bearings to put in here, like kits, so you don't have like them welding at each other. Yeah, I will get this, and also, as I said, clutch hardware, so to say. The rest of the gearbox is pretty much done. So this lever down here is shifting the gears, as you can hear. It's 3 gears, I didn't say this, but it has only 3 gears, and they are all shifting quite nicely. When I now turn, flywheels blocking it. Yeah, now it's in gear, and somewhere in between the lines it shouldn't be. Yes, that's neutral, and also we got quite a good compression because the cylinder has also been worked on, but I will show you in a moment. And yeah, so that's the clutch side. What I need. The carb is a Chinese knockoff from Bing. It's been bored out to 50 millimeters. I'm not sure how good this thing works. I will try to run it on this, and I probably will get a different one, like an original Bing one, because I'm not sure how good this works. This is a thicker like intake, because as I showed you, wait, I got this one originally for mounting, because this is the much bigger one, but it's air cooled and the shroud does not allow for such a fitment, because it would fit like this in here. It doesn't. It needs to do like the bendy thing, so that's stock, or mostly stock, I think. I'm not too sure, it's been a bit while since I worked on the bike, so yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty much everything. On the engine side, I got the ignition overhauled also by my friend. Maybe I can show you, because you are standing a little in the way. Yeah, so maybe you can see. Let me see if I can It's nice to have a proper camera now for filming. There's the condensator. This thingy with the screw on top, that's the condensator. I think that the name in English is different. But anyways, then these are like the original coils. That's the coil for the light. No, that's the ignition coil. That's the coil for the light down here. You can maybe see it there. And the next new thing is this one. That's the ignition contact. Can't zoom in any further, but maybe you can see when I turn this thing, it opens and closes. This is how old engines get like the spark right, the spark timing. Yeah, you can't really see. Yeah, maybe there. You can see this part of the arm, the lower part of the arm, like there, moving a little bit. Maybe like this. You can see it move, because under here, this thing is not round. It has like a small bump, so it opens and closes the contact because you can open it like this. Yeah, I can't really do it with you seeing it, so yeah. And you basically set up the ignition timing with this, and also can turn the main plate underneath this flywheel, so spark timing is right. That's been new. Also, it's quite messy now. Wait. Also, as you can see, the plug, like the plug, the spark plug itself, the cable, and all seals around the engine. As you can see here, there's a seal. Also in the crankcase, they're all new. They're all these are, I think, brass rubber seals. And in the crankcase, I got some fancy seals, which are, I'm not sure if you can see this. They are Vuitton seals. They are a little, yeah, you can see there, right down here. They're the brown thing behind the gear. That's the Vuitton seal. They are much, they're much tougher and last longer and are better to some degree. I really forgot actually what else they can do really good. But yeah, that's the seals. And what else? The cylinder. The cylinder is pretty special. As I told you, this carburetor is a little bigger. I planned on using a bigger header. Not because I'm a moron and want to annoy everyone, but because I'm a moron and want to annoy anyone and like to drive fast. Combining both words. Because this cylinder, the original one, was pretty damaged. Was basically done. You couldn't really use it anymore. So I got a new one from like a used parts platform, and we checked everything. We looked up the numbers because it's the original cylinder. It's stamped with, let me see where it's stamped. It's stamped with a Kreidler number, and also here you can't see, it's stamped Mahle. So the manufacturer that still exists today that casted the cylinder. So it's the original cylinder, but we looked up the parts number, and in no system you could find this cylinder. It's not from like different countries or anything else. So this is original Kreidler part, but with no trace where it came from. So we suspect it to be like maybe a prototype cylinder, because all channels are a little bigger, but they're original. you can see the cast marks in them and stuff like this. So this might have been a prototype cylinder, because who knows, and it hasn't been worked on, and like the coating, the nickel seal coating, looks pretty new and good. So the cylinder was never overhauled. It probably ran pretty small amounts of time, I think, and yeah. But we actually worked on this on like all the channels a little. Not sure if I can show you really good, because exhaust port has been worked on. No, you can't really see. Nah, not really. Ah, forget it. You can't. But we actually really only did minor changes in the exhaust ports and the like overflow ports. I don't really know the English term for it, because in a two-stroke cylinder you have the intake port, the exhaust port, and two side ports, as I told you before maybe. And yeah, basically we worked a little on it, not too much, just to get a teeny tiny bit more power. So yeah, that's actually everything for the engine. And yeah, I'm going to tell you a few things to the end, and that's going to be it pretty much for today. Thank you for watching, and that's actually going to be it for today, because I'm going to write a list now. I'm going to get all the parts. Probably I will forget half of them, but tomorrow is a different day. And yeah, let's see where this is going. I hope to make some progress the next 2 or 3 weeks, so it will be writable in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Let's see how much time I find. Yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you will enjoy the new series. Rather small series, because it's just like getting a bike roadworthy again, so to say, and getting the engine to run, and all the smaller bits and bobs and stuff. Yeah, and I'm really excited. Actually, I forgot to tell you, I also need like an exhaust, because I got a header but I don't have the exhaust. I will probably forget like half of the things to order, so yeah. Back to the outro, sorry. Yeah, let's see. I'm also very excited how this thing is going to run, because the cylinder isn't new, but it's pretty new. The piston is fitting, but I also need to like do a break-in procedure to some degree. So I'm not sure how long. I think 500 kilometers would be enough for the 50cc things, because they really rev pretty high. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. And yeah, actually TZR content will be made. I got new parts, which I will not show you now because it doesn't make sense in this video. But I'm going to have to work a bit more, because I don't got too much money now, because after exams I spent all my money because I couldn't work while studying, so gotta fill up the pockets before I get new parts. So I hope you can understand. So have a nice one, and see you next time.